Welcome back to Mastering MHAMBA, your graduate level guide for leadership, team dynamics, and organizational success. Chapter 4 contains a substantial amount of theory on team identity, group emotions, cohesion, and trust. Rather than rush through all of these ideas at once, I've divided the chapter into two parts. In this first video, we focus specifically on team identity, emotion, and the psychological foundations of group dynamics. So today we begin Chapter 4a, The Psychology of Team Identity and Emotion, adapted from Leigh Thompson's Making the Team, a guide for managers, 6th edition, published by Pearson Education. In this video, we'll explore how teams develop identity, how emotions spread within groups, and why psychological dynamics shape team performance more than skill alone. Learning objectives. In this session, you will learn: first is team identity and why group entitativity creates a sense of we. Second is identity fusion and how some teams build deep personal attachment. Third is the difference between common identity and common bond groups. Fourth is relational versus collective identity and how people define themselves within groups. Fifth is self-verification and group verification dynamics. Sixth is team member exchange, TMX, and its impact on performance. Seventh is group potency and collective efficacy, the beliefs that drive performance. Eighth is group mood and emotional tone. Ninth is emotional contagion and behavioral entrainment. And finally, we will explore emotional intelligence and the concept of emotional aperture. Section 1, Introduction, the Mars mission story. Imagine a team of 6 astronauts preparing for a 32-month Mars mission, the ultimate test of teamwork. NASA studied these teams using wearable sensors that tracked communication patterns, emotional intensity, and group interactions. They discovered that the success of such missions depends heavily on team resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, regulate emotions, and maintain unity under extreme uncertainty. This sets the foundation for Chapter 4a. Great teams don't just have skills, they have identity, emotion regulation, and psychological strength. Section 2, Team Identity and Group Entitativity. Team identity begins with group entitativity, the degree to which people perceive themselves as a single unified team. High entitativity creates a sense of we, shared direction, and emotional connection. Team identity is powerful. It shapes behavior, increases motivation, and provides belonging. The stronger the identity, the more members are willing to commit, sacrifice, and collaborate. Identity fusion. Some teams go beyond identity and develop identity fusion, where the boundary between the self and the group blurs. Here, people see group success as personal success. Fused members feel a deep emotional bond and are willing to make extreme efforts for the team. Identity fusion can build exceptional unity, but it can also create risk-taking if the group norm pushes extremes. Common identity versus common bond. Teams can connect in two major ways. Common identity groups bond around the group as a whole, for example, a hospital department or a brand community. Common bond groups, instead, connect through personal relationships, friendships, mentor-mentee ties, or peer support. The strongest teams often blend both, a shared mission and strong interpersonal ties. Relational versus collective identity. People define themselves in groups in two ways. A relational identity is based on relationships with specific members. I'm close to these teammates. A collective identity is based on belonging to the group. I am part of this team. High-performing teams nurture both. They create meaningful relationships and a strong group identity. Self-verification versus group verification. Team members want confirmation of who they believe themselves to be. This is self-verification. Teams, however, often try to shape how members see themselves. This is group verification. Effective teams balance both. They respect individual identities while aligning members to the team's mission and values. Section 3, Team Member Exchange, TMX. TMX, Team Member Exchange. TMX describe the quality of reciprocal exchange between coworkers. High TMX teams share information freely, support one another, and rely on collective problem solving. High TMX predicts better job performance, higher commitment, greater satisfaction. Lower turnover TMX even neutralizes conflict. Strong relationships help teams weather interpersonal tension. Section 4, Group potency and collective efficacy. Group potency. Group potency is the collective belief that the team can succeed regardless of challenges. It's not about individual confidence, it's a shared conviction that we can do this. Research shows group potency is often a stronger predictor of performance than actual ability. Collective efficacy. Related but distinct is collective efficacy, an individual's belief that their team can perform well. High collective efficacy boosts persistence, resilience, and goal alignment, but excessively high potency without goal monitoring can lead teams to ignore risks and overestimate their ability. Section 5. Group emotion and affect. Group emotion and affective tone. Teams develop a group emotion, a shared affective state shaped by bottom-up influences, individual moods. Top-down influences, organizational climate. Group positive affect leads to better problem solving, creativity, and collaboration. Group emotion is powerful, it coordinates behavior and strengthens bonds, especially under stress. Section 6. Emotional contagion and entrainment. Emotional contagion. Emotions spread within teams. This is emotional contagion. If one person becomes anxious, tension spreads. If one person radiates optimism, the whole team lifts. Leaders, in particular, trigger emotional cascades. This is why emotional regulation is a core leadership competency. Behavioral entrainment. Teams also experience behavioral entrainment, synchronizing movements, gestures, and rhythms. Think of athletes walking in step or clinicians coordinating in surgery. Entrainment builds rapport, liking, trust, and interpersonal harmony. Section 7. Emotional Intelligence, AI. Emotional Intelligence, EI. Emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize emotions in one's and others, is a critical team skill. Teams with high EI communicate better, resolve conflict collaboratively, and adapt more smoothly to challenges. EI is strongly linked to performance and psychological safety. Emotional aperture. Emotional aperture is a leader's ability to read the emotional landscape of the entire team, not just individuals. A leader with emotional aperture can sense when morale dips, when tension rises, and when the team needs support. This skill strengthens transformational leadership and improves goal progress. The psychology of team identity and emotion shapes how teams think, feel, and behave. Strong identity creates belonging. High TMX creates collaboration. Group potency amplifies performance. Emotion binds teams together, and emotional intelligence transforms group behavior. Teams succeed not only because of skill, but because of identity, emotion, and shared belief. This lesson is adapted from Leigh L. Thompson's Making the Team, a guide for managers, 6th edition, Pearson Education. Thank you for watching Mastering MHA MBA. Stay tuned for Chapter 4B, Building Cohesive, Trusted, High Safety Teams, coming up next.